Hi and welcome. This is a continuation of the C++ programming series. Today we will take a look at while loops. A while loop statement repeatedly executes a target statement as long as a given condition is true. The syntax of a while loop is nothing more than a while, the word while, followed by the condition, some curly braces, the statements, and a semicolon, and then closing the curly braces. Here, statements may be a single statement. It could be a block of statements, or as many statements as you really want to make. The condition may be any expression as well. And true is any non-zero value. The loop iterates while the condition is true. When it becomes false, the loop stops. In other words, it breaks out of the loop. When the condition becomes false, the program control passes to the line immediately following the loop. Alright, so let's get started and write our example program. Once again, this is object-oriented programming, so I will create a class to do this. As always, we include IOStream and using namespace std. And so let's create a class, and this class will just name it something kind of silly, but we'll just call it while. Yeah, it's not very inventive, but sounds pretty good. We'll have our curly braces, and let's see, we'll declare something public. And that will be void set value. This will be our first method, and that will be int m that will be passing to it. And alright, so that's our first one. Our second one now will also be void, so it's not returning anything in this case. And this will be a get the count. Now you might be asking, how is it going to get the count if it's not returning anything? Well, I'll show you as soon as we get to that part. We're also not going to pass any parameters to this one. It's void. Okay, and then we'll have something that is private. And we'll tell everybody it's private. And that will be an int. And the name of the int will be value, followed by our semicolon. And I think that's all we need for our class, so we'll close our curly braces, have a semicolon, and okay, so let's do a definition now of our first method. In this case, we will do set value, so we'll do void, and that is while, and set value, and we'll pass the int m to it, okay, we'll put in a curly brace, there we go, and we will indent a little bit, and we'll put our value equals m, and I think that's all that this particular method really needs to do. So we'll close our curly braces, okay, and we'll go to the next one, which is void while. Remember, you need to put in the scope resolution operator always for these, so that's what I'm doing. That's that double full colon. And it's called get count. And so our definition of get count, this one is getting no parameters. It is void. So we'll type in void. And then we'll add in our opening braces. And this one's going to be a little different than the last one. This one is going to contain the while loop. So we have to use that magic word called while, which is showing up in red. And we'll have a parentheses. And in this case, we're going to say value. Remember, value is our integer. So as long as value is less than or equal to, in this case, we'll say, 20, I guess. We're going to do something. And so to do that, we'll, let's see, we need to put in a curly brace to contain the entire loop. Okay. And so we just did that. We're going to print. And we'll just print out value. So we're going to do a print statement within the while loop. All right. And so let's do that. C out. And whoops. Let's see. The value is, and we'll put in a colon, and I'll put in a space, and we'll do that. And then we'll use value, our variable. We'll put that there, and we'll do an end line. Okay, and so there's our print statement. So while value is less than or equal to 20, we're going to print out the value. And what we're going to do is we will do a incrementer for this. So we'll do value plus plus. What that means is every time value passes through the loop, the while loop, it's going to increase by 1. So depending on what I started it at, right? So if I started it at 0, then it's going to increment each time all the way until it's higher than 20, because it's less than or equal to 20. So that's what that means. All right, so we've got value, semicolon. We need to close the while loop here. We don't want to leave that open, so we need to close curly braces. And we also need to close this particular definition of this method. So we will close that as well. And so now we can come down to our main section of our program, or our driver, where we'll do int main, and parentheses, curly brace, open. And now let's have some fun. Let's use our object that we created. We have a class called while, so let's use it. While w. So we instantiate our object, and we're going to do w dot set value, and for the value we'll start at well, it might be nice if I could spell set value, huh? Good thing I caught that. What we'll pass to this function is, I think we'll start at 10. We'll just do 10, all right? We'll count up from 10 to 20. So we'll start at 10. I'm putting 10 in as the number to start from. And we'll do our semicolon. And now, well, we need to call the other method, right? We need to call getCount, because getCount is literally going to print out our value and increment through the loop that we created. And so I'm going to put in a comment here that says get the count. And that's my comment. And then under the comment, we'll use w, our object, and refer it to getCount. Now, once again, you may have IntelliSense that you're using, and you'll see getCount there, and you'll just choose it. I am not doing that. I'm basically using a text file to do all of this. And yes, I'm doing it all on the fly, by the way. I'm creating this program out of my head. There's no magic here. We will return 0 in this case. And, oh, we got to close our curly braces. Okay, so let's look through the program now and make sure, well, that we actually, did this correctly. Let's see. Include input output stream. Yep, we're using the namespace, the standard namespace. Class while. Public, void, int m, yep, there's our semicolons. Semicolons on value. It's declared as private, okay. Scope resolution operator is correct. Semicolon in that first definition. In our second definition, it's get count, it's void. That seems verified and correct. We're going until 20, that is correct. The value is, that looks matching, and value and L. Okay, that looks correct. We've got the closing brace, As we come down to our driver now, if we look at that, we can see while W, yep, we created W, w.setValue, that is correct. We're putting 10 into that, and w.getCount. Okay, we have all our semicolons. We're returning 0. All right, I think we're all set to compile now. So let's compile, and hopefully this all works. Now, if you are doing the compilation of this on a Linux system, you want to type in G++ -O for optimization, then the name of whatever you're going to use to execute the program. In my case, I'm calling it while, and of course the name of the program that you just wrote, which in my case is while.cpp for while.c++. We compile, no errors. We then run it, and there we go. The value is 10. The value is 11, 12, 13, 14. You can see it's counting up. It's incrementing. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe. Tell your friends about it and have them subscribe. I'll see you next time with another video on C++ programming. Bye-bye.